Hello, and welcome to a short introduction to the Course Compass system and the website using Course Compass. This video covers Course Compass as it relates to Math 105 online, but the material in this video can also be applied to other courses using the Course Compass website. So for example, if you're taking Math 48A, Pre-Calculus, or any of the Pre-Calculus series, or any other website using Course Compass, this video would apply to those websites. So in this screen, I've logged into Course Compass. As far as getting your account information and registering, that information was sent to you in an email before the course began. So this video assumes that you have your account and are able to access your course using Course Compass. This course in particular is Math 105 online. This is the spring section. You can see that listed up here. The course is listed here. And on the left side of the screen over here, where I'm highlighting over here, are all the tabs, and these are the features that we'll look at in this video. So the first tab that we're going to look at is the one that you can see in front of you currently, and that's the Announcements tab. And this is generic information from Course Compass, so we don't generally use this much. These are like places you would go if you want to know if there's been a system outage or some other issue related to the Course Compass system. These are generated by Course Compass, not by your instructors, and they're informational only. So they're not actually used in the course beyond information. The next tab down here, the Video Tutorials tab, this tab has all the videos for the course. So for example, the orientation that you're currently watching can be accessed under the Video Tutorials. On the first one, it says Course Compass Introduction. And there's another video on using the homework system, so we won't cover the homework system in this video. That's covered in this video that you see in front of you. There's a video about taking Course Compass quizzes, so the online quizzes you take in your course are covered in a separate video. In Math 105 online, we use tables on the graphing calculator, so this video deals with the table feature of the graphing calculator. There's also a video that has generic information on graphing calculators. These are animations that demonstrate how to do things like find intersections, find zeros of functions, and other common things that you want to do on a graphing calculator. So this is also a great resource for you, this TI calculator tutorial site. And then if you're in the online Math 105 class, some of the other classes using Course Compass may not use this feature, but if you're going to be using Dropbox for submission of take-home exams, this video explains how to use the Dropbox to submit a take-home exam for that will be eventually reviewed by your instructor. So unless your course is specifically using the Dropbox, don't worry about this video, but the Math 105 online students, especially those of you that are working remotely and not coming to campus for class, will be using the Dropbox to submit your take-home exams, and so you should watch this video at that time. Okay, working down from the top then, the next tab is called Course Documents. Let me click on that. So the Course Documents tab has what would traditionally have been in the past all the handouts that your instructor would give you in the class. So for example, in the Math 105 site, you can see there's the syllabus and the calendar. These are documents you should print out. There's some information on attending online office hours and CCC Confer if your instructor uses online office hours. There's a reference guide for the TI-84. There's a sample take-home exam to look at, so if you want to get an idea of what a take-home exam looks like in this class. And depending on your course, there may be a number of other additional documents that you see in this area. So if there's any kind of document that I would make available to students in the class, that document would get posted under Course Documents. So all the course documents, any practice assessments, or anything else, anything you can think of that you would get from me in class would be posted here. These are all in PDF file format, so they should be easily printed. You should be able to easily print them out on your computer at home. So that's where all the course documents are for the course. And again, each course has a specific list of documents. So your particular course may have a different collection of items than you see here in this Math 105 online course. Just keep that in mind. The next item, the gradebook. So the gradebook is there's nothing here right now because nothing has been completed, but as you start completing quizzes and tests, this would include stuff that you do online and also in-class assessments. All of your assessments in the class will be recorded in the gradebook. So later you'll see the gradebook start filling with your grades, and if you ever want to know what you got on any online quiz or anything that happened inside of class, maybe on the midterm or the final, all of that will be eventually recorded in the gradebook. So this is where all of your grades will be stored, and you have access to these online at any time. The next thing I wanted to show you is the chapter contents. The chapter contents is your ebook for the course. So if you click on chapter contents, under chapter contents, this is how you access your textbook. So if you don't buy an actual paper copy of the book, you can print out any section of the book and read any section of the book online. The way this is organized is you have chapters that are folders, so each chapter, and then the sections for each chapter would be inside of one of these folders. So for example, the first section we do in Math 105 is section 1.7. That's in chapter 1. So I'm going to click the chapter 1 folder. And then I'm going to scroll down to section 1.7. There's another folder for that. And then in that side of that folder, I can watch a video from the author about the topic. So if you want to see a lecture on the ideas of this section, you can watch the video. And then the multimedia textbook is here where it says Open Multimedia Textbook. So if I click on this link and bring this into view here. So here's the actual textbook, so you can see it's just a PDF version. The nice thing about the multimedia textbook is the things like these video icons and then work and exercise. These are actually multimedia animation, so you could watch the video on this section. Now you try it, you can actually launch an example here and do an example interactively with the computer online. So it's a little more than just reading the book. You have these buttons which you should press on and try out, and you can interact with the software a little bit and get feedback on what you're learning as you work through the section. So that's the textbook content. And then at any time over here on the right, you can see there's a little print icon here in the upper right-hand corner. So you can print any of these pages out. If you're one of those people that likes to have a hard copy, you're always welcome to do that. And then if you need to do exercises in some classes that we teach, you have additional homework to do from the textbook. So any of the homework that's assigned in the textbook, that sort of depends on which course, how much homework is assigned from your book. But if your class has homework assigned from the textbook, the exercises here are under 1.7 Multimedia Textbook Exercise Set, and these are just the exercises in the back of the text. Bring that into view here. And so you can see here section 1.7, and then these are the homework exercises from the back of the book. And again, these little icons here, the exercise icon, these icons allow you to work some exercises interactively with the computer and then get feedback as you're doing these. So these are interactive exercises, and you just press on these buttons. And so it's, again, a little more than just reading the textbook. So after you've done the homework, any homework that you want to complete for practice, from the homework exercises, the question is, how do I now check my answers? Now these little interactive multimedia buttons will have you check your answers as you work through the multimedia presentation. If you just have done one of the hard copy versions here, like problem number 4, and you just want to know what the answers are in a separate section of the book. So to find the answers, I'm going to close out of this. The answers are actually not in this section, so I'm going to leave this section and go back to chapter contents. And at the very bottom, let me just go one more screen here. So back at the chapter level of all the chapters, folders for all the chapters, you'll see below the chapter 11 folder, right here it says answers to selected exercises. So all the exercises from the course textbook are, well, at least the selected ones are here. So if I click on this link, so these are your traditional answers. So you can see here it says chapter 1, the real numbers, section 1, 2, practice exercises, and then these are all the various answers for all of the sections of the textbook. So you can just scroll forward here, and for example, if I wanted to check some exercises in 1.7, you can see here now I have 1.7 in the view, and there's some practice exercises in 1.7, and then there's the exercise set, and then the answers to all those exercises. So that's how you can check your answers to any of the homework that you complete in the course textbook. That's it for now. That includes this concludes the basic introduction to Course Compass on our website in Course Compass. And if you have any specific questions, go ahead and email your instructor about them, and we'll get back to you.